Oh, really good. Really, really excited to be with you. You are a legend.
I am a legend. Well, I'm glad you think so.
AI to the Sky, the podcast for those who build the future, not those who fear it. AI, automation, disruption, no mercy. Hosted by Joseph Vale.
This episode is powered by Rocket AI.
Tracy, before we dive deep, quick one. If you could have an AI clone of any podcasts or TV personality to co-host Dark Horse Entrepreneur with you for one episode, who would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. Two names would instantly pop into my head. One would be Bruce Lee because he inspired me from an early age, and not just because of the martial art movies, but because of the philosophy behind him. But if we're going to go into someone I think would really be a good co-host, I would probably have to pick Johnny Carson because I think Johnny, obviously you can tell by my beard, I just aged myself by just saying Johnny Carson, but the man himself as a host had this quiet command about him. He could land a joke, he could drop a truth bomb, and he could still make you feel like you were in on the secret, right? It was like this awesome mix of sharp humor and gentle control, which I would call the gold standard. Now, the AI version, sure, it could pull out a great question, and it could even, analyze sentiment and predict punchlines, and maybe even nail a little eyebrow raise or two. But I don't know. Would it be able to capture that electric silence that comes before a real human laugh? Maybe not. That moment of connection that really kind of trumps cleverness that, Johnny would master. I think there's a piece that I or him, right? Johnny could do better, maybe even yourself, because I think the best conversations, whether it's about business or parenting or freedom, they don't come from prompts, right? They come from the scars, the stumbles, the bumbles, the falls, and the face plants that we as humans go through. Maybe even that sideways grin that we give each other when we're like, yeah, I've been there too, right? So Johnny Carson would be the host of the data. How about that? From the AI version of Johnny Carson. I think he could host the data, but I would host the human, right? That's the one thing that no algorithm has cracked yet, which is the art of giving a
I
damn.
don't know if you could tell us more about your background and who is Tracy Brinkmann?
Oh my goodness, that I'm not sure we have enough time for all that. I mean,
Yeah,
I am
no.
I know, I'm a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I had a curious career path. I mean, I went from high school into the military, got out of the military, and started my own company. Got into drugs, unfortunately, got a wicked addiction, which, made me step away from the company. And when I broke out of that, with the thanks of the police kicking in my front door, I stepped away, rebuilt myself with the love and caring of my parents and a brother from another mother, and that started my career into corporate America. And I went through a journey with Coca-Cola and Home Depot and David's Bridal. I mean, big name brands. I've been lucky enough to be a part of their planning and marketing teams for a number of years, and then stepped into the personal development arena, the uh, side hustle arena, and more recently the AI arena, helping other people build their dreams. That's the Cliff Notes version for you.
Thank you for that. It was a pretty short, but I know that we can spend a whole episode about you, or
We
maybe
could.
more.
Oh yeah, there's so many stories.
All right, Tracy. So let's get serious. You've gone from managing retail inventory with spreadsheets to building a top ranked podcast helping parents to create digital side hustles. Today, tools like ChatGPT can do in 30 seconds what took you like, I don't know, maybe 8, 10 hours of forecasting.
Yep.
Do you think AI is killing the solo entrepreneur's dream or it is democratizing it? What do you think?
I think that's the real question that everyone's afraid to ask, isn't it? I mean, is AI killing the dream or is it setting the dream free? Here's my take, seeing how you're so nice to ask. I don't think AI is killing the solo or the whole entrepreneurial dream at all. I think what it is doing is killing the excuses. Because back in the day, like you mentioned, I wrestled with spreadsheets until midnight trying to figure out if we could afford the shipment of T-shirts. And now you can, right, type in the chat GPT, hey, build me a forecasting model, name my product, write me launch emails. And you can get all that done before your coffee gets cold. But that's not a threat. I don't think so. I think that's a gift. But, and this is a big but, there's a song in my head now, but we won't go there. AI will not deliver you drive, that entrepreneurial drive. The thing I think that makes some people step out of, standard work America or work anywhere and become driven to build their own dream. I think it democratizes opportunity, but it doesn't democratize discipline. You're still going to have to show up. You're still going to have to ask better questions. You're still going to have to test ideas. Yeah, and you even have to test the bad ones. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you just have to. You still have to hit publish on your own inner critic when it says you're not ready. Everyone can raise their hand on that, right? I know. So, no, AI isn't stealing the dream. It is leveling the playing field. The people who win are not the ones with the biggest budgets anymore. They're the ones that have the courage to use the tools, well, learn the tools first, but then use the tools and then keep that human heartbeat inside the work. If AI is the engine, the purpose and the discipline is going to be your fuel. And I think far too many folks are trying to coast on autopilot with an empty tank, maybe? I don't know.
Your experience coaching, I know you coach hundreds of entrepreneurs at the Dark Horse schooling. Maybe you see what's the
Yes, sir.
biggest mistake you see when they are using AI for marketing or side hustles, maybe. Can you give us a
Mhm.
real
Sure.
case?
Sure. The biggest mistake. I want to say that's easy. I mean, it's kind of easy, right? Um, the biggest mistake I see a lot of folks doing inside and outside of my own coaching is they treat AI like a magic wand instead of a power tool, right? Because there's a difference respect that goes with the magic wand and it goes with the power tool. And if you don't respect the power tool, you can talk to the person that is missing a finger. Not me. I just did that. That's missing a finger because they didn't respect the power tool. Let me give you the example. One of my coaching clients, great guy, heart of gold, decided to let ChatGPT run. He says with air quotes, his side
Mhm.
hustle launch. He asked it to write the emails. He asked it to write the product descriptions and the social posts, everything. He did it all. And then he hit send. The mistake he made is he didn't review what it wrote, right? The very first email inside the welcome sequence that he created, that ChatGPT created for him, it said, hello, first name. And, right? It didn't say hello, Tracy. It didn't say hello, Joseph. It said hello, first name. The second email promised this exclusive content to our valuable subscribers. Well, he didn't have any subscribers, so now he was putting out fakeness on top of that. It was like, you could say it was like watching a robot try to fake charisma at a PTA meeting, right? So he didn't fail to me because of AI. He failed because he forgot to put the I in artificial intelligence. Because we have to remember, artificial intelligence is just that, artificial. You still need to have intelligence. And the best marketers that I've been lucky enough to coach use AI more like a co-pilot, right? It drafts the copy and then they add the story. It builds the bones of the business and then they add the heartbeat and the blood and the sweat and the tears. So I can wrap this up, and here's the truth I tell like every one of my parent entrepreneurs. AI can write a post, it can write a social media, it can, it can even write a song, but it cannot, will not, maybe I'm hoping it won't, write your experience. And that's what your audience is really coming for and buying is you, is your unique experience. They don't come to your podcast, Joseph, because you are talking about AI. They're coming for you. And then the fact that you are talking about AI is icing on the cake because they have that interest. Does that make sense?
Tracy, let's get hard. You achieved 99.4% fill rate in corporate retail. Today, tools like Inventory Planner with AI uh, promise the same with one click. what can an entrepreneur do with AI today that you couldn't do with 20 years of experience, do you think?
Well, first off, I have to say, wow, Joseph, you did your research to find that fact about me in my in my history. But yeah, I did. And to answer your question, what can entrepreneurs do today with AI that took me 20 plus years to learn? Well, I'll put it simply: they could fail faster. But that's it. That's it. We're done. Goodbye. It was a great episode, everybody. No, I'm kidding. I think the trick to that is they need to fail faster without losing their shirt. Yeah. When I was managing inventory for Coca-Cola or any of the other brands I mentioned, a single bad forecast could wipe out an entire quarter's worth of profit. And it had in many times. We spent weeks, days, nights crunching numbers, praying that the holiday rush matched the spreadsheet that we created. Today, you can feed all this information into an inventory planner. You can even create the inventory planner, a few data points, sales history, supplier lead times, yada, yada, yada. And it spits out I'm going to call it a smarter plan, fast, almost instantly, let's say within 30 seconds. I don't think that's cheating. I think that's evolution. Because if you or I would be to ask our fathers, if they were in the same business, how they did it, they would tell you, oh, we wrote it down in a big column sheet, and we'd write it all down, and then we'd, punch the keyboard over here, the little abacus, and move beads back. They did it different too. That doesn't mean we were cheating. It's things evolve. But here's the catch. AI can optimize your inventory, but it can't optimize your instincts. It can tell you what people bought, but it most likely won't tell you why they bought it. And it's that why that 20 years of being wrong and broke and curious is going to teach you. So yeah, entrepreneurs can do in an hour or less, 30 seconds, that what took me half my career, but wisdom still doesn't come with a download button. You've got to earn that part the old-fashioned way, ladies and gentlemen, by caring enough to look past the data at the human on the other side of the transaction to understand why they bought and what else they may need from you as part of your business.
Oh yeah. And what you said, I heard that before because I was talking in another episode with Ben Chai it was a mentor from Microsoft, and he said the same. You could fail fast and grow fast. So yeah,
Yeah.
you are definitely
Well,
right.
every entrepreneur who's worth their salt, and you probably talked to a number of them, they will tell you, I have failed way more than I have succeeded. But it's learning the lessons in the failure that make the successes what they are. Without the failures, the success would have never come.
For a working parent, let's say in Latin America, maybe, that is listening right now with zero budget and 2 free hours per day, what's the first AI-powered side hustle you recommend they start? Maybe, no sé, I don't know, this week.
Oh, sure. This is I see now we're getting into my zone of genius here. For the parent with 2 free hours a day and no budget, first AI powered side hustle. I would start them with let's call it content repurposing for small businesses. The place you go to get your coffee, the place you go to gym, because every gym and cafe and real estate agent out there, they are drowning in content chaos. They've got to do videos and posts and photos, but they're all collecting dust on their laptops or on their phones. And you, as the parent out there, wherever you are on the planet, you could use the free tools, right? Not even the paid ones. You could use the free versions of ChatGPT and Canva to turn a 5-minute video into a week's worth of social posts, captions, and even blog blurbs. And so here's the key to this, though, is you're not selling them tech. You're selling time. And then let's go. I'm going to give you two because they stack together so nicely, because once you've helped them clean up their content game, you have a second play here. You can offer them an AI assisted, and they don't need to know it's AI assisted, but you could tell them, doesn't matter, why hide anything? AI assisted email campaigns to bring customers back I want to say that again, to bring customers back, because so many small businesses that I'm aware of out there, they're totally obsessed with getting new clients. And they're totally forgetting about the happy list of clients who have already given them money, so they already trust them, right? So now you, Mr. Parent, Miss Parent, you can use tools like, I don't know, FlowRide, MailerLite, ChatGPT itself is my favorite in this case. And you can draft 3 personalized reactivation emails that say things like, hey, we miss you, here's something special, or any way you want to do it, because that's not just marketing, it's retention, and it's retention with heart. No fancy ad spend, no fancy funnels. It's just smart communication that drives repeat sales and keeps local businesses alive. I'm a big fan of local businesses. And here's the winning thing of this. All you need is Wi-Fi, curiosity, and a little grit, right? You start by offering one of the places that you frequent all the time. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's a gym that you go to. You say, hey, I'd like to do this for you. And if they love it, and they will, you've got your first testimonial, and I guarantee you they will become your first paying client. Now, what should you not touch? Right? This is the big one that people fall into. Anything that promises passive AI income or autonomous money machines is the one I've been seeing here lately. Those systems, he says, tongue in cheek and his fingers in the air, are like diet pills for entrepreneurs, right? They sound easy, right? But they're going to cost you so much time, and they're going to cost you a lot of credibility, way more than they're worth. Real AI side hustles, real AI hustles need human hands, right? They need you to get in there. And here's the thing, parents already have the discipline. That discipline that they have is a superpower. They could combine that right tool with their discipline, and you're not just making side hustle money anymore. You could actually be building proof that freedom scales 1 hour at a time.
That was really insightful, Tracy.
Thank you.
So, Tracy, your podcast is Pump Brand. So let's be brutally honest. What
Sure.
percent of your production today uses AI? Maybe talking about editing, show notes, clips, or maybe content strategy. Where does AI save you time, and where does it still stuck?
Let's see. If we're being brutally honest, I don't know, 50 to
Please.
70% of the podcast production that I'm doing right now, and I got 2 podcasts, right?
Two. Wow.
AI touches it somewhere, right? It's in there somewhere. Here's how it breaks down. Editing, it's about half AI. I still like to use the human ear for things like pacing and the nice gaps that need to go in there. There are tools like Descript and Audacity that handle a lot of cleanup for me, like just yanking the ums out of there. But my old sounding, the sound engineer inside of me just wants to give it a last human pass. I haven't found one that I'm comfortable enough just like plunking it down and it does everything. I'm just not there yet. Show notes, fully AI assisted. I dropped a transcript into ChatGPT or Poppy AI, and I can get a rough draft, and I can even get that rough draft in my voice, right? I've given it just because I have so many episodes, I can give it transcripts of me talking and articles I've written and speeches that I've done. So it knows how I speak. So it can spit it back out in my voice. Excuse me, sorry about that. I'll just do a little rewriting for things like clarity, because sometimes AI can be a little bit verbose. So we'll edit that a little bit. Clips and reels, AI I use to help find the quotable gold. And actually, if I'm using AI to help me script it, I will have it drop in quotes in there for me. So now it already knows where they're at, and I'll just strip them back out. What used to take, I don't know, a whole Sunday, probably takes me 2-3 hours. No, listen, last Sunday it took me 4 hours, and that was 2 podcast episodes, including all the social media clips, all done in 4 hours. So it was 4 podcasts, two podcast episodes for 2 podcasts. So that's 4 episodes and all the associated content that go with it. So 4 hours in an afternoon. And I mean, here's what I do on top of that is I don't just, when I sit down to record, I try to do it all at once, like I just mentioned, and I go ahead and create extra social media clips. Here's what I mean by that. So a lot of folks, myself included, they grab clips, of genius out of the podcast itself. Okay, that's good. How about you go ahead and create, and I create six clips that deliver standalone value, but are associated with the podcast you're recording. So I record a 30-minute episode, and then I record 6 more additional social media clips that I'll just clip out and post. Because now I know for sure I've got 12 clips ready to rock and roll that I can post anytime during the week. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to strip it out of the episode. It's all there, and it delivers standalone value. Here's one of the things I hate as a podcaster and as a marketer is clips that say, hey, I've got a new podcast episode. I had this amazing conversation with Joseph. You're going to want to hear it. Link below. I don't care who Joseph is. I don't care who Tracy is. Why do I want to go click on the link below? You haven't given me anything. Now, if you put in a little reciprocity, hey, did you know that the reason you're failing is because of your identity? And here's how you can fix it. Step number 2 is, and I give you the step, if you want to learn what step number 1 and step number 3 is, check out the full strategy in the link below. Wait a minute. That's an entirely different social post because you gave me something that goes, okay, I'm interested in that. Otherwise, I would have swiped away anyway. And you gave me a piece of it. And it's a piece I could go act on, but I want the rest of it. Now I'm hungry. You see, it's 2 different things, right? So I go ahead and do that. And that's a post I'll put out there. So I'm delivering value. I'm all about reciprocity. I'm all about giving. I figure if I give enough goodness, some goodness is going to come back to me. Now, let's talk about where AI sucks. And that's in storytelling. It will give you lots of platitudes. It won't give you any emotion. And it's really bad at judgment, right? And anyone who's used ChatGPT, you've got to go in and tell it, stop being so nice. I want you to be ruthlessly honest. Because otherwise, it's going to sit there and pat you on the back all day long. Yeah, that's a great idea. No, the idea sucks. But AI is going to tell you it's great anyway, okay? And here's the other thing. It can tell you what I said, but it won't tell you why in the hell does that even matter, okay? So you could chop a 30-second clip out, but you could miss the heartbeat behind a pause. And this is why I don't use the edits, because there are times when I'll say something or a guest will say something very powerful, and I want to keep the pacing. But for that moment, I need to leave a little bit of a pause in there. So many folks say, well, if anything's over a half a second, I want you to chop it down. No. At a moment like that, if you just told me that you lost your wife or you lost your daughter, your dog, I don't want to just jump to the next thought. I want to pause, and I want the audience to feel that for a second. You know what I'm saying? AI won't do that for you. It's not there yet. Here, we can wrap this piece of it up into one sentence. AI is an intern. It's fast, it's tireless, and it is very capable, but it still needs that editor-in-chief who knows what makes people feel. So yeah, I use it, and I use it proudly, and I tell everyone about it. Heck, I changed the platform of my podcast by saying, this is the AI escape plan, which is telling you I'm using AI to help you understand how to use AI. But it's not running the show. It's you could say it's holding the flashlight over my shoulder while I'm out there digging for gold.
That was beautiful, Tracy. You know, predict this for me. It's 2027, and a parent in South America uses AI to launch their side hustle. What specific AI tools are mandatory in their stack? And give me, I don't know if you can give me one that everyone uses, but it's complete smoke and mirrors.
Sure. Okay, so we want to look at both sides of this coin. That's a good question. All right, so parent in Bolivia or anywhere, right? I don't think they won't be just using AI. I think they're going to have to orchestrate it. And here's what I mean by that. And inside of that, it will be here's your must-have stack. Obviously, ChatGPT or whatever multilingual twin is in your area, because that's going to be the backbone for your writing, your brainstorming, building your marketing flows, whatever language you speak. It's like having your full creative team that speaks Spanish, English, and speaks caffeine. Very important to have caffeine. Number 2 is going to be Canva. I love Canva because visuals sell faster than words in any language. So I don't care what year it is, unless Canva is gone, it'll redesign, it will resize, and it will even regenerate branded shorts for you in under a minute. Very powerful tool. Notion AI is another one. This is the command center. This is where you can plan and script and track all your workflows so you're not drowning in Post-it notes or WhatsApp messages, okay? And the last one is an 11 Labs and HeyGen combo. This is the 1-2 punch. This is the power duo for turning your face and your voice into your global assets.
Tracy, you've lived rock bottom literally. Drugs, bankruptcy, even loss of a daughter. Today, AI can generate motivational content in just, let's say, seconds. And here's the philosophical question: can AI actually teach resilience, or is that still exclusively human territory?
Oh, that is actually a great question. I don't think people have gone here yet. This is a cool spot. Um, yeah, I think AI can write about resilience. I mean, it can quote the Stoics, it can remix Goggins, and it can spit out 1,000 "never give up" lines before lunch, but it can't bleed for it, right? Resilience, I think, it's not a concept that you can download. Once again, it's a scar that you have to earn on your arm, on your heart, whatever it is. Yeah, I buried a child. I've gone broke twice. I have seen the inside of life where it doesn't love you back. And here's the truth. Not one single line of code that I've ever written or I have ever used it on an app has ever held my hand at 2 a.m. when the whole world felt like it was against me. Only a human can do that. And better yet, only a human like you can become better after you survive something like that, right? So can AI help build resilience? Sure, maybe. It can guide reflection. It can track your habits. It can remind you to breathe, to journal, and to keep on going. But it can't give you that will to stand up, dust yourself off, and keep on going. Take the next step and repeat. I think that is still sacred human ground. AI, like I mentioned earlier, it can replace intelligence, but I don't think it can fake inspiration, right? Because it can't replicate the pain that has transformed into purpose, right? It doesn't know pain, so it doesn't know purpose. That's my thought. That sparks that pain to purpose. That's something that sparks people to move, and it becomes a heartbeat behind greatness. And here's what I mean by that. We've all heard the term, at least it's very popular here in the States. I'm going to assume it's a national term or a global term, the X factor. Oh, he's got that X factor, right? We see it on those talent shows. And when you see a singer or an athlete or a speaker, or maybe even a parent pull something amazing out of themselves, there's this invisible energy that makes your chest tighten as the viewer. That, my friends, to me, that's soul meeting skill. You can feel that because it wasn't guaranteed. It came from risk. It came from practice. It came from history. It came from their heart. Yeah, a robot could probably hit the same note as that skillful singer. When the robot does it, you just go, that's cool that they did that, right? When a human does it, it gives you chills. You feel it in your whole body. AI can amaze us with precision. Don't get me wrong, it does amazing things. But humans, they amaze us with possibility. That's the difference. That's the X factor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And this is why I like to talk with real humans. Thank you so much, Tracy, for your experience, for your time.
AI is coming for actors, artists, and podcasters. Lucky for you, we're still human. Subscribe now. AI to the sky.